Alright everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel that is giving you the up-to-date market cipher info right now. So uh, let's see, so what we got going on. I did want to put in another video because we did have a few more confirmations that have been hit, but I did want to see, I just gotten some word that we could be seeing a little bit of a rounded bottom here. So just to be prepared, that we could see a pretty big move to the upside. How much, I have no idea, but I did want to do a fib retracement here just to see what our potential would be if we were to move to the upside. So because we started to round just a tad bit, nothing's guaranteed, you know. I mean, that's with life in general, y'all. Nothing's guaranteed in life, so just take everything with a grain of salt. That's one thing I've been really learning to do in this market, is that everyone is going to have some type of different information out there, you know, counterintuitive to like what you may think or to what other people are saying. So you really just have to take everything with a grain of salt of what's being thrown at you and all this information with inside the world. I mean, or with inside at least the crypto sphere, you know. And that's, you know, with life in general too, you know. So some of our fib retracements here, let's see, about like the 618, since we do like to go up there a lot, is 9455, which is fair. If we go to the 786, that would be pretty nice, right? So 9875. Now this could take a while to play out. So I, you know, would kind of wait it off, and people are probably going to get pretty bearish because they're not seeing any moves. But I would just wait to see what ends up subsiding here on the markets. So one thing that I did want to tell y'all was that these 10x longs did get put in on this 12-hour here. So now we're seeing 10x longs at the bottom here, which is a back-to-back 10x longs, or a pretty bullish indication, I would think, you know, especially because we have this snake eye double green dot here on the 12-hour as well. Let's take a look at, let's start on the 2-hour and work our way up a little bit. So we did have that blood diamond, but honestly, it doesn't look like it's going to fulfill out. I did get a little cautious because of this earlier today, and it did confirm, but you know, it could be a while till it plays out. I honestly don't think it's going to play out, though. It still looks like Cipher B is going to give us some more momentum to the upside here, and if we do cross that pivot point, I would say that that blood diamond is probably going to be canceled out. So just be prepared. Some bullish divergences being put in on Cipher B as well. So let's move to the 4-hour. Our 4-hour is looking by far the most bullish for us, which will more than less indicates to me that we're going to have a pretty big move to the upside soon. So I would say maybe by tomorrow or by Friday we could see this start to move up. Once this 4-hour reaches that pivot point on Cipher B, I would say that there's going to be a pretty big breakthrough to the upside, and we'll probably break through a lot of resistance lines. So just be ready for that. So let's move on to the 6-hour. I'm kind of curious because that VWAP is kind of coming down. If that VWAP does subside below that pivot point, then we could put in a red dot. So that's a possibility. But our 2-hour is looking pretty bullish, so we may not see that drop on the VWAP, or we may not see that red dot on the 4-hour at least. So let's take a look at the 6 and the 6-hour. A pretty big nebula here on the downside. 10x long being put in. No buy signal just yet, but that could change. Let's go back to the 4-hour. I think we did have a buy signal put in. So that's a good sign. Let's check out the 8-hour. 8-hour, ready to potentially, you know, finding a bottom here. And another 10x long as well. These 10x longs don't get put in that often, y'all. So you know, I'm not one to short a lot of the time, but it is something that you can do to making profit. I think that the fundamentals of Bitcoin just don't prove that it's a good market to short. That's just my opinion. Take everything with a grain of salt, like I said. So this is one thing I did want to point out was this diamond pattern, diamond reversal pattern that we have here. You can see I kind of have some of the already support lines drawn out for this diamond reversal. The last line I would need to connect is like right here. So something like this maybe, and here, and then we'd have our diamond. So that is a possibility, and that is just something that I wanted to show y'all. And this bottom support, I did draw this because if we look at Bukowski's diamond pattern, that is one of the things that looks like is a type of support. As you can see, let me zoom in a little bit here. Oops, too much. But you can see how these two bottoms that touch these angles on the diamond, they're at kind of like a curve, right? They kind of have a support line that could be drawn there to hold support. So that is why I drew those lines. And if we go back, we can see that that line that I drew there kind of indicates that upside potential pattern as well. And that is where I got that trend line from, but it also gave me reference to that diamond shape pattern as well too. So if we check out the 10-hour, bottoming out here once again, ready for a big move, probably to the upside, or getting ready to, you know, I think that something is gearing up, but we could see some stop losses hit, maybe at that 7,900 range. That's what some people are thinking. 12-hour, we kind of already went over this a little bit. One day, getting ready to form a big green dot down here as well, which is another bullish indication that we are finding a local bottom. This will probably be confirmed within the next few hours, to be honest. So a lot of people were talking about that they were wanting to see this candle body close above our support, and it did. So another bullish sign. 2-day, man, this is also looking like it wants to bottom. And let's just check out our 2-day that happened here back at 3,500-ish area. So I mean, we had only one big green dot is put in as well here on the 2-day at the 3,500 area, and then we did come back down. That nebula came back down. That blue wave came back down, and same thing's happening here. And once we came back down, we found support, and it was just on an uptrend from there. So yeah, I can see why CF wants to short right now, but at the same time, I'm not sure if he's seeing these same patterns that I'm seeing, and I think that he's basing it off of his higher time frames and the money flow, that it looks like it wants to go into the red. But from what I'm thinking is that even on this 3-day, I think he still sees a lot more potential to the downside. But I think that he has changed his position based on his last video, that he is ready, or he's ready to go short, but once we hop out, or like once we have a move to the upside. So that's very possible. But what I'm thinking is that when we hit 13K here, this was the start of our bull run, and this little consolidation factor, this bull flag that got put in down here, and that was kind of forming, is still part of our 40-50% correction inside of that bull market. So I think that once this bottom forms, especially on this 2-day and 3-day, let's see how this 2-day is looking here on Cipher B. We are pretty curved up with some bullish divergences, and I would say that this 3-day could have potential to be a big divergence as well. We will just have to wait and see how this plays out. But it does look like that we could be forming a bottom, but maybe not as big as this one that we had at 3,500, but something a little smaller, but also like a trigger wave. But Honestly, I feel like this is just a fractal pattern, a smaller fractal pattern playing out of our 3500 area. Crypto Capital Venture did go over that, so I would go check out his video. And I had honestly been looking at that same fractal pattern for a while now, because these on Cipher B, it's literally forming the same way, and it's just kind of interesting. So if we take a look at our 4-day, you can see just another kind of indication here. But also the reason why I think that we're still kind of in the bull run sentiment is because our 5-day and 6-day didn't put in a large green dot. It was a small green dot, but then could just send us, rising back up through here. That's just my perspective, y'all. I do say do your own due diligence, do your own research on these markets, but I'm definitely going to update y'all when this 1-day big green dot hits as well, which could signal some moves to the upside. Like I said, my targets for the downside though are 7,900 or 7,700. Other than that, if we can stay above 8K right now, I do think that we're going to consolidate here just for a little bit longer to have some maybe bearish capitulation and some bearish sentiment being put in, and people may be changing their minds a little bit before we decide to push that button and go back up. So that's just my TA on this, y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying these videos. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, and click the notification bell. Let me know what y'all are thinking about these markets right now. What are y'all doing? And also, if you are interested in mining Bitcoin out of a web browser, I do have my crypto tab affiliate link in the description below, that you can start browsing or start mining BTC straight from your web browser. And also, I have my Bybit affiliate link down below for leverage trading, but that is very risky, so do your own due diligence and research. I almost just recommend hodling, but if you're interested, you can click those links down below. And I'll get back with y'all. I'll get back to another video with y'all sometime later. Alright, y'all have a good evening.